Okay, this is the third episode of Frag Forge. Woo! For today, my name is BRB Texting. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Mine hasn't changed. I'm
uh,
still mine. What is, I forgot what I was going to say. Critical, yeah.
It's your boy, Kitten Boy, to be exact. That's me.
Yes.
the topic
Fem
for
boy.
today is centered
This bad self, man. Whatever. Anyway, going straight to the topic.
I don't know even what to say to that. But yeah, the topic is sexism in gaming.
Sexism in gaming. What? How dare they?
I mean, it's there.
So, I mean, yeah, it's there, but it's a matter of like, where do you see it? So much as like, do you see it more in the games themselves, or do you see it more outside of the games?
Probably both.
I was gonna say that
Most
very
definitely
much
both.
depends on what you're looking for specifically. Like, what do you mean specific? Like sexism? Are you talking about like how like where is it being displayed at? What kind of like comment? Like, this is a loaded question. You gotta really narrow this somewhere.
Well, it's supposed to be a loaded question. Just answer as you see fit.
I mean, answering as I see fit would just be like, well, it's there. But if you're saying, well, I can't even say in what aspects because it's there in a lot of aspects. But you gotta be more specific.
Okay, so okay, I'll narrow it down to one point, I guess, for now. So let's say it's in games. Like, I say for a specific type of game, I would put like role playing games.
So I'll just say, or I'll throw a bone out there and say the instances in which I see it. But the first instance I see it is that there is not a lot of major games with main female characters. If you see a major game, it's going to 9 times out of 10 have a male main character. And I don't really have too much of a problem with it because I'm gonna play the game regardless. But it's just not much. It's not many that you see out there. I ain't saying there are none, but there definitely aren't as many as there are main male characters. The second instance that I see it in, and I pointed this out to Mr. Mind Control over there. When we were playing
Control.
Dragon's Dogma 2 the other day, is that in the role play games where you make your own character, it is still sometimes geared towards your main character being a male in the game. That's another instance in where I see it. Um, yeah, but it's definitely there. I don't think too much of it being it's not too big of an issue for me personally because, like I said, I don't care, but it's definitely in there. I see y'all don't have anything to say. See, look,
I
this
don't
is
know. I
sexist
never
right
really thought
here.
of it as like a
I'm
Y'all don't want to
I'm
speak
waiting.
on the
multi.
topic
Nah,
because
Well,
you're
the topic
male.
is hard. Yeah,
nah.
I'm a
I
guy. I see
have
a bunch of
I have a lot of things
dudes.
to say. I was just waiting to see if he
I
was gonna
don't
say
really
something.
see. I don't see anything in the way of like sexism for myself. Well, I mean, like
Well, yeah,
for
because
my
it's geared
type of
towards
role
us.
play characters. Yeah, it's more geared towards like just straight whatever or against like no, just against mostly straight folks. Like I don't see much in the way other than against women, and that's women as a whole. But I mean, even if it isn't a gay guy, it's still a guy. So I don't really think twice about it. I don't really. It really just be whatever for me. I mean, it'd be a main character, and as long as they kick a lot of butt, I don't really worry about it beyond that.
And that's mainly how I feel about it too. But I do think it would be nice to see more main female characters and not just in the sense of like the romance games and stuff, but more in the action games. Like I want to see more games like freaking Horizon Zero Dawn with a good mate.
Oh man, that was about to come up in my little that was
Oh,
gonna come up in my
that's a
little
game that you was about to bring up.
thing. I was about to say a lot. Like I said, I was about to say a lot. I just wanted to see if DeAndre was gonna say anything. So,
I mean, I like that game. I don't know what to
but
tell
I
you.
was
Like
gonna
Tales of
say
Berseria,
because,
that's pretty good. Female
but like,
pro tag.
but the thing is, since you were asking about RPG specifically, so there was a whole thing with Alloy. I don't know if you guys remember where there was a lot of people who were upset by just how she looked because they were like real women don't have hair on their face. They don't grow like mustaches or anything. She looks
I
too
got one right
mannish
now.
to be a woman. She looks too manly to be a woman. Here I fixed it and there were like different people who would go in and just basically make her whatever the standard for like real life beauty is. Then on top of that, we could throw in Baldur's Gate with all the mods where it's like people want them to not be like figured after like how women can actually look like Carlock. She's a big woman. She's a buff woman, but there's mods out there to make her more slim and have more like enhanced assets to appeal to the male gaze. There's like so many things that people do to appeal to the male gaze because they don't simply like something that they feel like isn't up to their standard of beauty. That's throughout all games in general. Like if I can throw out another game like Mortal Kombat. Just look at all the women and how they're dressed in Mortal Kombat.
That's the first person that
They
came to
they
mind.
practically have nothing on, but the guys usually are fully clothed, have some kind of armor. The most you'll get out
Cool
of
looking ass
anybody in
armor.
Mortal Kombat, yeah, most you'll get out of a guy in Mortal Kombat is that they might be shirtless. That's about it. But women are wearing the skimpiest of things in that game. Even okay, taking it back to RPGs where there's armor designs specifically for females that are very revealing. Like there's the one robe that we all know about in Dragon's Dogma that every mage female pawn has on, where it
Hmm.
literally is nothing but
Yeah,
like
It's
I
some
just
know
a
that one.
straps.
bikini.
Yeah, it's just a bikini basically. Like it's always been there, and that's just the representation that's going on in like games in general. That's how women look like in general in video games like that. But if we're gonna go even deeper, I could bring up like Apex and Call of Duty and FPSs like that because those all have a verbal uh component to them as well, where women usually are talked down upon. It's just stuff like that. It's still very apparent. It's still very toxic, but there's people who actually actively like combat it. And there are other things nowadays where games are trying to be more inclusive with just in general with pronouns, even if you're gay or not, like supporting gay romances and all sorts of romances in video in RPGs nowadays. You have the ability to literally go by they them or whatever pronoun you character wants, and you can just generally when in character customization, you just make your character how you want to make them. So it's slowly but surely becoming to the point where it is going to be normalized. Just look at Overwatch. Like every character in there are some sort of LGBTQ plus like member, or just they're just their own person. So
Yeah, it's definitely developing to become more inclusive, but I don't know when we're gonna start seeing the sexism and just overall sexualization of women start to get better. I don't know if we're ever gonna see it, but
I don't think that's something we're ever gonna see really get better. I mean, hopefully, and it's probably a bad thing to say, it'll just be more equal rather than it just being women. Which probably is like sounds bad, but I mean, do unto others what you have do unto you. At least that's how that is in my mind. It probably is a saying that has nothing to do with this, but I mean, that's just how I see it. If you're gonna like sexualize what they do, you might as well put something. Because I mean, girls play games
Don't
too,
put it
and
in for one,
I
put it
mean,
in
who's to
for
say they won't be
everybody.
interested in whatever that. Exactly. Don't put it in for one, and then don't put it in for the other. I mean, I don't know. With like some games, in my mind, it's just like it's not so much them like sexualizing the character, as it is just them being like, well, this person is toned and works out, and so they're just fit. They're just I don't even know how to.
They may be
It's they're
fit,
just
but they still cater towards the male gaze of mainly
true.
showing off all sorts of the assets of the female characters and kind of just putting them in revealing clothing in general.
That's
But
fair.
we don't even have to talk
You
about
can
the
usually find.
sexualization of women in games. Can we stop the women in games hate though? Back to what Edward was talking about with like Call of Duty and Apex and stuff. Like just all the disrespect towards women who play games, or just the idea that women don't play games because we exist, we here, and it's not like we're rare or anything. Like it's actually very common to find a girl that plays a game, even if it's just not even what people consider like hardcore games. Like even if you're a girl that just plays Stardew Valley, you're still part of the gaming community. That's what I want to see stop. Even if the sexualization and the women mainly being in panties in video games don't stop, just accept that we here, we play the games. It's not as rare as people be thinking.
I do see a lot of toxic YouTube videos with like female YouTubers like disguising their voices, and then the moment like they're like really winning and doing really good at the game, and as soon as they reveal that they're a girl, then they end up ost- ostracized or really being talked down upon. It's usually pretty bad because it usually is just chalked up to luck because they're a girl, and then the dude is trying to save face by saying they're not doing as good as usual, or they're going easy and that they knew and blah blah blah.
Yeah, because it's like guys, well, it's just a part of toxic masculinity in general, but they feel like gaming in this sort of industry, since it's so male dominated, they feel like it's a safe space, and everybody that you really encounter are going to be a guy. So the fact that a woman comes in and outperforms you in something that you feel like you're really good in or that you feel confident in, it kind of shatters their ego, which is why they're like, well, you just got lucky this one time. I wasn't actually actually trying. Oh, blah 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 blah. All those kinds of excuses and whatnot.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And that is
I
a
don't do that
tale
myself.
true as time, coming from
I don't.
someone
Yeah,
who's
I don't get to do
played
Tale
something
as
like
old
that
as
though.
time.
Call of Duty from the old Modern Warfare 2 to all the way till now. It doesn't matter because it's all just the same.
Yeah, but Call of Duty community is already wild enough without the sexism included.
I
Yeah.
They
mean,
just mean to
Call of
everybody.
Duty in general is like the melting pot of pure racism, sexism, any almost any ism you can think of. So everything in there, just play Call of Duty one time, kill one dude, and I guarantee you're gonna hear something that you're like, wait, now why would you go
You're
there and
gonna
say
hear
all
some of
that?
the wildest shit you've ever heard in your existence.
It's a game best played without game chat on. That's just how I feel about it.
Oh no, it's entertaining if you're just kind of like used to
If
it,
you're not
but
sensitive and You ain't gonna care too much. It'll definitely give you a laugh, but they say some wild stuff in that game.
Shoot, that doesn't even just include Call of Duty. Just think about Overwatch. People type in the channels, but the thing about Overwatch is they actually crack down on all of that stuff and filter it out. And that now they're actually starting to ban players. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but I feel like they doing it a little bit too harshly because they kind of be going a little bit too off on it. Like I don't know how to put it. I just saw a post on Twitter the other day, and it was like this dude said maybe like all of two curse words and got banned, and I was like, what? I've seen literally my own friends say worse in chat. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Broderick's definitely said worse in chat.
Rogers definitely said worse.
well, he's a Siege player,
Broderick has
and
also been
Siege players
banned.
are like one of the most
Yeah, but
toxic
Broderick
people
was
I've
banned for
ever seen.
like a few days. This person was blocked for like ever. Like that was that for good.
Well, yeah, this is just the how that community does things.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's cut
everybody
and
has
dry.
their way of just like dealing with it, but is really up to whatever kind of community you're in to try to create that safe space. If it's something where it just goes haywire, it's kind of like Call of Duty has started doing things to try and calm down all of that. Like they actually record now. They record in-game voice channels, so that way if you do say something kind of crazy and you get reported for language, they actually have valid proof. And you can also, they Call of Duty also has text chat, so if you say anything, that can also be recorded. So there's like a lot of things that a lot of people are doing nowadays that are kind of like moderating it, trying to get rid of it. But sexism and things like that of nature, you can't really get rid of it because you also have to think it's a societal thing where usually society looks down on women for numerous amounts of
Everything.
reasons, and
Everything.
it is I'm like, it's not just women getting like there's different things, there's pros and cons on both sides, but mainly everything that happens usually is always blamed on a woman or something of that nature. So it's kind of like we live in a society that just hates women, but we need women to do a lot of things that we do now. So
Oh, to be a woman.
Oh, to be a woman.
Have
and
y'all
there,
seen that?
and then we could talk about being a man.
Nah, being a man is generally easy depending on
I don't
exactly what
know.
circumstances you're
We
dealing
don't
with.
talk about feelings, so
I talk about my feelings just fine.
not when you don't want to.
mm,
Well, that's because I don't want to, not because I can't. But that's the end of the episode, though. Yes.
yay! Third episode done. Too easy.
Thank you for watching and all that other stuff, and like and subscribe and
Please
other things you can
like,
do,
subscribe, and comment for more.
and, also talk about how Kitten Boy statue looks.
I was just
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
show
it.
my statue collection.
Put in the comments
This is kind of
your
basic though.
sexist experience, and we'll
Yeah,
go
sexism
through.
experiences.
Put
We're
in
not
the
gonna talk
comments
about it.
an experience where you
And
experienced
then put on the teddy bear
sexism
where it
in
hurt you.
game.
Oh my god, that's not what that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be point to where they touched you,
What?
and even then,
Nah.
that's not usually like a teddy bear. It's usually like a human skeleton, like a fake human skeleton. You're like, now point to
Anyways,
where they touched you on here.
anyways.
Bye.